Hey everyone, and welcome to my flat review of The Last of Us Part 2. This is not going to be an easy review. I have a lot of things to say. It's going to take a while. Now, for those who haven't played the first game, you're never going to understand the second game unless you play the first. So, yeah, go do that. Come back later. I'll see you then. But for those who have already jumped on this bandwagon and are ready to freaking come to this review with me, then yeah, stick around. Now, before this game came out, The Last of Us 1 came out in 2013. Yeah, freaking 7 years ago. How can you freaking believe? Then the ending came along and it told people that, yeah, it just can't be left that easy. It's gotta be fixed. Thus, 7 years later, yeah, a lot has changed. Now, no spoilers just yet. I'm just gonna say this right now. There are a lot of things in this game that I would change. But overall, as an entirety, I think it went pretty well. But again, there are things I would do differently if I was the developer of this freaking game. Now, a lot of people are probably going to be asking, Alex, why the frick are you talking so much about The Last of Us Part 2? Well, look, it's been my first blind playthrough on my channel. It's been the longest game on my channel. Yeah, so yeah, just shut the fuck up and enjoy the review. Now, I am really sorry if I mentioned something in this video and I just happen to leave some part out. If I miss anything in the game that I should have talked about, I'm sorry, I'm doing my best. Just let me know and I'll probably fix it later. I am recording this audio, like, immediately after I've edited everything, so please do not yell at me, shout at me, freaking type all caps in the comments, freaking, why'd it take so freaking long? Look, you're not the one who had to sit back for freaking hours and hours and hours, editing, trying to do this freaking review, because you pledged that you would. And I doubt that anybody who would say something like that has ever sat back for hours fucking making YouTube videos going through the shit that I go through. But yes, The Last of Us Part 2, a lot of people have been waiting for this release in 2020, including myself, because I was really curious to see what was put in and what took Naughty Dog 7 years to accomplish. Now, I'm going to go on the limb and say that, yes, I did finish this game. I had the energy to, especially after hearing what happened in the beginning. I'm going to get to that in just a minute. So, yeah, basically without any further shit, let's get into this review of The Last of Us Part 2. Hope you all enjoy, and let's get started. So from all we know, at the end of The Last of Us Part 1, yes, the first game, we learn that Joel has killed every surgeon that wanted to take Ellie's life in order to create a vaccine that will save millions of lives. In the beginning of Part 2, he confronts Tommy about it and does not seem happy about it at all. He remains shocked and refuses to spread the word and rat Joel out. And of course, Joel and Ellie have two very different views. Joel believes that after traveling across the country for so long with Ellie, he didn't just want her to die off to save other people he didn't even know. Ellie, on the other hand, thought otherwise and wanted to die to save the world. And eventually, Ellie found out through the biggest lie ever, and refuses to ever forgive Joel until the very end. Now I have to say that Joel plays as the hero here and didn't believe in killing even just one person to create a vaccine to cure mankind. If I myself were a surgeon, I obviously would not kill a person to create a vaccine because keeping everybody alive would be the #1 priority. So later in the game, Ellie of course pleaded to Joel, saying that if he lied to her one more time, he would never see her again. And lo and behold, she got the truth out of him, he spit it out. And she got shocked and defriended him, and went back to Jackson like she said she would if he told her the truth. And obviously, afterwards, Ellie seemed more and more apprehensive about just leaving Joel off after hearing about what he did. Which leads up to Ellie and Dina's relationship, which Joel didn't find out about until way later before his death, which we will discuss very soon. Ellie and Dina's relationship played a giant role in the trailer of the game back in 2018. Everybody flipped out about it when they saw, of course, the kiss scene. But everybody got used to it when the real game came out, and we moved forward and just decided not to focus too much on that. Jesse found out through some drama that took place in a family gathering prior to the day of going onto an expedition to take out some infected and heading to patrol.
I heard you had quite a night after I left. She kissed me. It was just Dina being Dina. She didn't mean anything by it.
I was talking about your fight with Seth. Wait, you kissed Dina?
Oh.
So prior to it all, Joel in the first game promised Ellie that he would teach her how to play guitar, and along with swimming and some other types of good stuff.
You feel that breeze, huh? I tell you, on a day like this, I just sit on my porch, pick away at my six string. Yeah, once we're done with this whole thing, I'm gonna teach you how to play guitar. Yeah, I reckon you'd really like that. What do you say, huh?
And I, of course, did a vocal cover of the Future Days song that took place in the very beginning of the game. If you haven't watched it yet, go check it out. It is on my channel for everybody to watch. And I gotta say, I was very impressed by this scene because I did not actually think that they would add this in, but they remembered and did. But I liked it. I honestly really enjoyed it. Cracking jokes here and there, trying to bring some humor to the group, not making it all serious, etc.
What is the downside to eating a clock? It's time-consuming.
That's so dumb.
Yeah. Good night, kiddo.
Prior to Joel's death, at a family gathering, we learn about the beginning of Jesse and Dina's breakup and the beginning of Ellie and Dina's relationship. It brought about some drama from Seth, who didn't believe in being inappropriate in front of family members who were at a social gathering. Yes, we heard some sexual bigotry in the game and none of us approved of it at all. Joel heard about it, went ahead and gave him a nice push and defended their relationship without any form of return. But Ellie just couldn't give Joel credit, even for that. She held a grudge and completely excluded Joel from her life after still remembering what he did to her. She decided that it was the final straw and that she was done with him, and that she no longer needed his help. And of course, we hear Ellie and Jesse talking about this in the beginning of the game before going on to their expedition.
Heads up, you're the talk of the town this morning.
What?
Let me see if I got this right. You kissed Dina,
She kissed me.
which triggered Seth to call you a not-so-nice word.
Yep.
Then Joel decked him,
More of a push.
and then you got mad at Joel. That part confused me.
It was a strange night, man.
So Seth apologizes, trying to make up for it by feeding her. But Ellie didn't fall for any more of his shenanigans. And lo and behold, a new character comes along, Abby Anderson, the daughter of the surgeon, Jerry Anderson, who attempted to perform surgery on Ellie before Joel executed him. Now I have to say that the player of the first game really had no choice of either letting him live or saving Ellie with him alive. You can't walk through him without killing him. After Joel killed Dr. Jerry Anderson, Abby Anderson finds out and began her search for Joel Miller, which is basically where we find out that in the beginning of the game, Joel dies. Yes, we were all pissed about this. I was, my brother was. We watched it together. And honestly, I would have understood if Joel died way later in the game instead of the beginning, because we barely got to enjoy any time with Joel. It was a pretty big surprise. Thus, The Last of Us Part 2 turned into a giant revenge plot, which I'm honestly not a very big fan of. Now, I've seen people on YouTube giving their opinions about Abby and what she did. Everybody was saying stop hating the game just because Abby killed Joel, and at least look into Abby's story and the reasoning behind it. Which of course I did, and it was dark.
Is he still in the fucking building? Abby.
No!
Abby, don't look.
Dad! Dad! No! No! Joel, get up. Joel, fucking get up. Please stop. Please don't shoot. Joel, please get up. No! No! No!
Prodigel, pendejo.
I'll fucking kill you.
Whoa, what are you doing? Manny.
Cleaning up.
No. We're here for him. That's it.
It's too risky to leave them alive.
Too fucking bad.
He's right. We can't have loose ends.
We killed them. We're no better than he was. They didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, look at my face.
Fuck your face. You should have been guarding the upstairs like I told you to. Move! Back up.
Calm down.
Or what? Back the fuck up!
Calm down!
Garden! You gonna shoot me?
Stop! We're done.
So then, after witnessing and mourning the grave of Joel Miller, Ellie goes to Joel's house, gathers some of his belongings, and begins her revenge expedition. Now, if we didn't look closely in the radical group, WLF, or Washington Liberation Front, we noticed a girl, Nora, who straddled Ellie down and pinned her arms to her sides, was another girl we met way later in the game, and she of course dies under Ellie's hand. Nora also learns that Ellie is breathing spores, and that she is the immune girl who could have saved the entire world if she reverse-engineered a vaccine. Nora pleaded to Ellie that there were no more Fireflies anymore, and to think about what Joel did, and how many people were dead because of him after he killed off the Fireflies, told Ellie that there were dozens of people like her, immune people, etc.
There are no Fireflies anymore.
Where's Abby?
I'm fucking dead anyway. Why would I tell you anything?
Because I can make it quick. Or I can make it so much worse.
Think about what he did. How many people are dead because of him?
It's your last chance.
I'm not giving up, my friend.
Now, I can't lie, Joel was really good at hiding the truth from Ellie here, because he was afraid of what she would think. Ellie goes ahead to question the immunity of other people, then Joel returns by saying that they could have been hiding it because she did.
I could be hiding it. You do.
Dina, in the beginning, when she and Ellie got freakish, didn't believe Ellie when she told Dina that she was immune. Lo and behold, way later on in the game, Dina finds out the hard way that Ellie is of course immune. So Ellie trusted Dina enough to know about her immunity because very, very few people knew, such as Joel, Tommy, and Maria.
Ellie, your mask. Here, we can share mine.
No!
Don't take it! Stop! Ellie, stop! Ellie, stop! What? No! Ellie, no!
Stop! I'm not infected. I'm immune. I'm not coughing, do you see? Fuck. Dina. Shit. Can you run?
Yeah. Yes.
Let's fucking go! Go!
Very, very shortly after, Ellie finds out, at the same time, that Dina is of course pregnant. Prior to Jesse and Dina's breakup, he was the cause of her pregnancy. After Ellie begins her revenge expedition alone, Jesse finds her, questioning Dina's condition. Ellie holds it back and just says the words, "She's sick and she's fine."
She's just sick.
What kind of sick?
She's fine.
Now I'm going to take a break from the topics here, and just say that I'm not the biggest fan of revenge plots. But the game's atmosphere, graphics, and story, I gotta say, are top-notch. Again, there are things that I would change, including the time period of Joel's death. If I were a developer, I would obviously reposition that to a point way later in the game, so that we could of course enjoy some extra time with Joel to gather some more information and data as about why he deserved to just be killed by Abby Anderson.